Hi everybody, thank you very much for watching the channel, and those of you that have subscribed, thank you too. It means a lot to me. I've had lots of emails from you asking questions and with comments, so I'm going to attend those. And today I'm going to talk about what's in a name 10 years after. A lot of people have asked me about the meaning of the name and how it came about. Well, we were originally called the Jaybirds, or latterly called the Jaybirds, and we felt that was a little dated. And we decided to look, the blues was in, and psychedelic music, that kind of thing was in. We were playing a mixture of rock and roll and blues and swing jazz, or whatever you want to call it. So we thought of the name The Blues Yard, but our manager, that we just recently got a manager, Chris Wright, thought we should think of a name that didn't tie us down to one particular style of music. So he suggested the band think about it, and we come back with a name. Well, that weekend I was looking through a magazine called the Radio Times, which is a magazine that tells you what's on the radio in the UK, and I saw an advertisement for a book saying 10 years after Suez. It was a program and a book about the 1956 Suez Canal crisis, where NASA closed off the canal to shipping, and it caused a whole thing, and the Brits and the other countries too invaded to try and take it over, it's very topical, isn't it? Because right now the Suez Canal is blocked and causing a load of trouble by a ship, of course. Anyway, I looked at Suez 10 years after, and I thought 10 years after is an interesting name. It kind of fits in with what's happening right at that moment in time, 1967, I think. With the electric prunes and Granny Takes a Trip and the Mothers of Invention and, all those weird names. Pink Floyd, for example. And I thought people will ask about that name, and of course I was correct, they did ask about it. So I took it back to the band and management, and they all voted for it. So that's how the Jaybirds changed the name to 10 years after. And we've been asked a lot of times about what's the name about, and we've said lots and lots of different things, but that, 10 years after Elvis, 10 years after anything we can get, so on and so forth. But that's the truth, is that it's, I got the idea from a book title. And, over the years I thought about it. The number 10 is a very magical number. It's a magical number in the tarot. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's Alpha and Omega in the Greek alphabet, the beginning and the end. It's quite a magical, strong, powerful number in lots of religions too. So it's been lucky for 10 years after, certainly. So there we are. That's how you get the name, 10 years after. My current band, 170 Split, much easier, much simpler to say. I used to live when I lived in Nashville, I lived on Highway 70. And the junction of Highway 100 and Highway 70, where the two meet in a sort of a V section, is called the 170 Split. And when Joe and I were recording the first HSS CD, The World Won't Stop, we'd have breakfast at that 170 Split cafe on 170 Split, as it was quite near the studio we recorded in. So when we were looking for a name, my son Harry said, "Why don't you call it the 170 Split?" So we did. A lot of German friends think it means dog-face spit or something, Hund, And a lot of people think it's basically a percentage that each band member gets, but it's not. I thought about it. It could be it's a crossroads, a diversity in music. And at the time, I think with 170 Split, that's what Joe and I wanted to do. I was still playing with 10 years after at the time. This was a side project. We wanted to diversify our music a little bit and do something slightly different. So that's the name 170 Split. That's it. Highway 70, of course, is the old Memphis-Bristol highway, and it's also was featured in the Thunder Road film, 1956, with Robert Mitchum, about bootleggers running stuff more in Harlan County in Kentucky than Tennessee, but it's a bootlegger road, and it's also featured on the Springsteen Thunder Road album title, Thunder Road. So there we are, 170 split, 10 years after. What's in a name? Well, a rose by any other name, as I say, is the same. And a lot of people, there's been a lot of arguments and litigation cases over bands splitting up and every band member wanting to form his own band with that name. So I guess it's an important thing, a name. If you're thinking of starting a band and looking for a new name, think carefully, because it can come back to haunt you 50 or 60 years later. Okay, have a great weekend. If the weather's good, enjoy it. If it's not, look forward to the good weather and getting out and, moving on. Enjoy your music. Take care. Bye.